working now. So I'm just going through setting up Visual Studio Code here. Open with code. Yeah, I need that. Yeah, let's do that. And so I had to go to the site and reinstall it. Oh yeah, this is a different issue. I don't know what happened here, but I tried to open Visual Studio Code. It didn't work, and now I'm here. So that's what's happening. So just a bit of a hold up. It doesn't really take that long to set this thing up. So once this is done, we'll be able to pick up back from where we were. And you can already see the icons there. So we're going to go ahead and launch that. And I'll just have to configure it because I did have some add-ons here that I really liked. So I think the only one I was using at the moment was Prettier. And I actually just found out MongoDB just released an extension for here, so I'm probably going to add that as well because I think that'll help us out a lot. So I guess it remembered my settings, so I don't even have to worry about that there. There's some other stuff here. You see we have Prettier and then there's Beautify. What does this do? It unlocks the ability to modify the style you wish to use. Yes, I don't think we need both of these running. ESLint and all these different things that come. So we have the Heroku CLI. We're actually not going to use Heroku when we deploy, so I'm not even going to get that one either. But I'm going to go ahead and grab that MongoDB extension. I hear it's pretty good. So I think this is the one that we want here. And I'm just going to hit and click install. And this is the the panel that you click on to get to the extensions, and you can just search it here if you know what you're looking for. And here I'm just gonna see if I can connect to my MongoDB here. Oh, okay, I see what we're doing here. We don't actually have this one set up, I don't think. So this is the MongoDB that we'll use later on, because we're going to set up our database for when we go live, when our code goes into our deployment, but we're not using that right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and get out of here. We'll use it later, so I'm not going to shut it down or uninstall it or anything. So now we can just pick back up from where we were. And where we were was with the, if I can find it, email. Oh, wait. There we go. There we go. I knew we were missing some things. So we were over here in emails, and it wasn't working. What happened is actually a part of the API. So let's go over to SendGrid, and I'll show you guys what I was talking about. They changed it since the last time I used it, and I wasn't aware. So what happened is that for SendGrid, you actually have to verify a user. So you have to, I used my other email, there we go. I don't know why my other email doesn't work. I got the whole thing sending to my email stuff working, but I don't know. I did the password reset, still didn't take it. But that's fine. And you see here, I was testing it last night. I actually got it to work. And the problem was this sender authentication. So what you're gonna have to do is, and you see here, you just load right in, it takes you there. You can click on that there, and you have to go ahead and verify a single user. See, I already verified myself, but let's do this again as if we were starting from the beginning. You would have to give it this information, and this is more for validation because something like this could be used for spam, and email clients and servers are trying to prevent spam because it's a terrible user experience. You go to your inbox and you have all this spam and unwanted, unnecessary emails. So that's where all that comes from, and I actually just went ahead and set it up, as you guys can see, and that's what's happening there. I actually did take the time to go into Gmail and set up my own custom domain, but I really haven't played around with, I don't want to play around with that too yet and wiring it to other things that I'm going to be using, because I haven't deployed anything. And when I actually do deploy my code, I'm going to be using Amazon Light Sail. I know initially I said I was, I don't know if I did speak on it, but I know I spoke about using Heroku, and that's what I use for previous projects. Oop, maybe it doesn't matter. Um, I know I spoke about using it for other projects, but Light Sail is it's just one of those. We're just getting to the point now. I guess with technology where okay, I guess I do have to sign in. Something here isn't right. I think this is the one I want to use. Maybe I did need that there. But yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use Light Sail and we'll deploy it this way. And this is actually the instance and everything that we're gonna deploy our code to. Don't ask me now because I actually don't know how this works. So I'll be watching some tutorials on how to get this done at some point, and I'll be able to use my terminal and deploy directly there, and we'll be able to see it live in the browser. So that's something we'll work on later. Once we actually have something to look at, of course. Um, but I can actually, I can make it go live later once I have the backend done, and then we can do more things there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pick up from yesterday, and the first thing that we did yesterday was we did this confirmation email, and I'm actually just gonna take a second to show you guys that I did get this to work, and I did keep my environment variable, and you do not have to use the string thing there. You just put that raw variable in there with the numbers. So it'll be, for instance, in your dev.env thing that we have over here, you're just going to go, for instance, on that you'll have a fresh line and you'll just be SendGrid API key. You'll have equals, no space, and then you'll just put in all your stuff that was for your API key. So that's how it'll look. And let me just Control Z because I don't want it to be saved as like a commit or something. Well, I don't want that to be tracked. So now let me just go ahead and show you guys that it is working, because I did get this configured yesterday. The only thing I didn't play around with was this HTML thing, because when you look at the message, it looks a little spammy, and you'll see that in a second as well. So there's two things we're going to do. We're going to open our Robo3T so we can connect to our database, and then we're going to open Postman. So let's give it a second to get these things going, and then we'll keep going. And yes, I'm just going to go to YouTube, view the live stream, so that way I can see what is going on. I didn't actually do a sound check today either, so this is probably a good time to do that. If you hear some noise or something in this, it's more than likely because I'm communicating to my stream. Oh wait, I don't have to do it here. I can do it from my phone. I'll do that a little later though. I think I'm fine. Shouldn't have to keep testing the setup every single time. But I think I'm going to do it in this particular case just because I did manipulate my setup. And I'm going to make sure everything's working. So let's see. So far, so good. Yeah, there we go. So I just sent myself a message because, oh, it does work. Okay, cool. If somebody sends a message here, I'll be able to see it over here in the chat. That's cool. So back to where we were. So we wanted to have our subscribers. Let's go ahead and connect to our database. And at this point right now, we're just using a local database. We're not using the actual real database that'll be available when our code goes live. So let's look over here in subscribers, and I'm just going to delete these two so you guys can really see the full experience. So we'll go here and we'll go to the add subscriber page. And when we go to add subscriber, let's use our email here. Let me get this right. I'm going to go to my email that's already open, w.ennals@gmail.com. And we're just going to fire this off. as you see, we get that 200 response. And I don't know why it seemed like that took a little long. Oh, my battery is really low. So let's start with plugging that up. And as you can see, we got that 201 response as opposed to that 400 response we were getting previously. Okay. Hopefully that didn't screw up the stream there. I just saw that when I plugged something in, I might have tapped one of my other outlets. But yeah, we got our 201 response. And then now I'm going to go to my email and I'm going to check my spam. And there it is. And the reason why this shows as spam right now is because of the way I'm sending this. I'm not using a domain that I own. I'm using something else. So that's why we're seeing this look like this. If I report, hey, it's not spam, it'll show up in my inbox, and then when we click it, it still looks pretty sketchy, right? And that's why I wanted to have the whole HTML tag just to make it look a little bit more official. Because I also believe that if I were to use SendGrid and I had my own authorized domain, that would allow me to do some things. So what I'll actually be doing is I'll be creating my own template for this. Actually, let's go ahead and play around with this because this is something I was going to hold off on, but I think it kind of it'll make more sense if I do it this way now rather than trying to, hey, just skipping over things because I hate when people do that to me. So let's just take a second to play around with this. And your email template should look good on different email clients or responsive for mobile devices. Many non-technical customers will hire a front-end or email template developer to build their templates. We also suggest testing your templates with rendering applications like Litmus before sending them to your customers. So what is this? So get more from email marketing than you ever thought before. Okay, that's interesting. Didn't know that existed. Whoa, what's that? Oh, my chat disconnected and then reconnected. That was scary. Just like a really little pop in my head. All right. The maximum number of transactional templates and versions per user IDs 300. I don't think I need that many. So creating a template, open the legacy templates page, and then create templates. Add a unique template name, things like that. The only thing I'm thinking that we only need is here. Open a new template in the code editor or design editor by clicking actions. If you select the code editor, copy paste it. I think for me it'll be easier to do the code editor because I try to use some of those editors and they don't work for me. I mean, like I struggle with them. I can't get them to look the way I want. Let's go here, and I want this one to be the subscription confirmation thing. Obviously, you see I typed it here before, and let's just hit save. And then let's go to actions. Let's go to add a version, I guess. And let's use our code editor because this is what's going to be easier for me. So right here, I want to do a header. Actually, let's do the design editor because I don't feel like thinking about how I want that to look. How do I get in this thing? Let's go edit, and I wonder if I can change the editor. Doesn't seem like I can, so that's fine. We'll just delete it and start over. Let's go ahead, add a version. We'll use the design editor, and we'll continue that way. So this one takes the subject here. I'm not going to touch that because I don't know what that is. Then we have our body here. I don't really know what that's supposed to do, but I know I want to have an image in here, and I want it to just look like an email from, those confirmation emails you get for any blog, where you have your little square panel, something like this. You have your logo up the top, and then you have some nice functioning stuff. And what I'll do is I'll show you guys a message that we got recently in Gmail. So let's go to Angular University. And actually, they just used straight text. Um, I wonder if I've subscribed to anybody's blog lately. I don't. I think I have. There's um. Hmm. I'm not seeing. Oh wait, what about GoDaddy? Let's look at GoDaddy. Yeah. So see this thing here. Um, this is what I want. I don't actually know how to create this thing. If I was using code, I would do it using code. Using it would just be a div element that was of a, I guess, a dynamic size for different browsers, well, different screen sizes. Because if you make this smaller, it should also react, as you can see. You see how it gets but it only lets you get so small. I think here is that's as small as you can get it before it just stops. So that's what we want. So I'm actually just going to use the code, I guess, because I mean they make it so difficult to see how this thing is sitting. So let's just go back to our design. And I guess I'll just use code because this is tedious. I don't know what the hell this is. So I'm just going to do a div element, and in here, actually I guess you do have to do body tags, and this is just saying this is the body of our content. And then inside of here, well, and we can do a few things. I don't know if they're going to let us do like the CSS on this. So, but we can always see. We can always put our div on here, and this will be class equals, and this will be a container. We're gonna call it. And then we're gonna go here and we'll do our first set of things. Actually, let's just go ahead and create the two elements. Spelled this wrong. Because this outer div is going to be the container that holds everything together, and then this inner div is going to be that white background that this card here that we see. So I just want to see if I can get those two showing, and then I'll know from there. Class equals body. I'm just going to say content body, and then I'm just going to update that. I'm not even going to put any stuff in here. I think this update button is not working, but if I hit cancel, it works. Very beautiful. So I guess I can't do that, but if I just put div in here, it works. So if I hit update on that, oh, it doesn't work. I don't know, man. This is not the best user interface for me because you're going into this thing, you have no idea what you're trying to do. So I'm just gonna stick to the code editor. That body just looks weird to me, but I'll leave it because I think what happens is you have to nest your stuff in there. But if I put div right here, I wonder why it's being weird. And I'm almost certain we can go in here and do two divs, and divs just create blocks. Like think about literally two squares, like two blocks. That's what they do. And we're gonna put the body in here. And then what I want to do is let me try to add the style in here and see if I can just change the color. I believe this is something how you're supposed to do it. And let me not use white, let me use black, something that we can see. So this is CSS, and I don't know if it'll pick up on it. is the color supposed to be like this too? I forget when you're manipulating it directly. It's not accepting it, so it's probably because of that. Expected tag name got something else. So let's see if I just take that stuff out. What'll happen? Yeah, it's still not liking it, so maybe if I do have to put the percentages in there. Nope, because now it's looking at it this way. So I have no idea how this thing is supposed to work. They gave me absolutely no instruction on this. They gave me nothing. So I'm just going to say screw it. And I'm just going to write a really nice text email and I'll call it a day. I'll save all that extra stuff for another iteration because I just don't have, why spend the time doing that when I can just do something else. The one thing that does bother me is this email, the text, when I try to pull the name, it doesn't put the name in there. And I'm thinking that was because we were doing the HTML at first. So I wonder what's going to happen if we leave it like this. So let's go into our database. Let's just remove that user. That subscriber, and then we'll do it again. And now let's go back to the email and see what we see. So now it looks a lot cleaner. So yeah, I think we're good. So what we'll do is, this is the old one. Oh, I think I actually reported that one as spam. Yeah, so there we go. Looks cleaner. Thought I pulled it out of spam. It's not spam. Inbox. And now we're good. So the only thing I'm gonna say is let's actually Google it. Blog subscription conference. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Somebody's reading my mind. What's this? I don't need all this information. Just give me my examples. Create the confirmation message, right? So what we want to happen is we want our user to say, hey, you want to give them a button to click to confirm. So what we can do is we can, for instance, we can await this because we won't save it until they confirm our email. Question being, I don't know how to set that up just yet, so I'm not going to do that. But it's just going to send them a message so that way they know they've subscribed. So we'll say, hey, thank you for subscribing to my blog, and let's put this on another line. That's how you usually structure an email. And I want to see if this is going to keep up with the spacing. So that's what I'm really trying to do here. I don't want to do any of this fancy stuff. See, they make this stuff look really nice, right? Can't think of anything else. Actually, I could use them as an example. Let me try that again. But everybody's gonna probably have something really, really nice. So I don't want to do that. Let's just go to images and see what we can find here. Let's draw information message. Let's look at the message that people are getting. Look at this. To activate, so I guess I will have to take some time to design this stuff. I just don't want to do it live because I have no idea how I'm going to tailor this. So thank you for subscribing to WilliamEnnals.com. Thank you for subscribing to WilliamEnnals.com. You will receive updates on new posts and projects when they are released So we say, as a subscriber, you will receive updates on new posts and projects when they are released. And that's really it. I mean, it's not really that much to say. Maybe I want to give them a button, but I'm trying to think if I was to put this button in there, it's just pure. I mean, that HTML stuff didn't work for me. I can probably Google SendGrid HTML to try to see if I can get something to to try to get some kind of platform design, or somebody to have some information on how to make this look good, right? Let's look at videos. Let's go to YouTube and see what's on there. I don't like that. They have a video for this though, so let's just click through this thing. And I'm never even gonna waste time trying to look at every piece. I just want to see if they're gonna show me how to do this. And oh, look at that. You can design it. See, this is what I was trying to do, but they made it look so tedious. That's interesting. I really like that. Add copy. So this is really what I wanted. So now I want to look at this video. So they did use a lot of HTML stuff, and it worked. So let's see what this video has to offer here. Because I guess I just found this the solution to my problem.
To see how to build in time-saving flexibility,
I don't think you can hear what's going on.
Email marketing task on your plate.
What if I do this? Hopefully that doesn't sound bad.
Import contacts using our streamlined CSV upload, or by integrating with the Contacts API for real-time updates. Build segments to automatically filter your contacts into groups that share characteristics like gender or region, or even how they engage with your emails. Craft tailored campaigns that will resonate, designing visually with HTML or a mix of both. The powerful marketer-friendly code editor has split-screen editing and scroll syncing, syntax highlighting, error flagging, and code completion, and protection from unwanted HTML changes to keep your design pixel perfect.
Okay.
The design editor delivers ultimate flexibility.
Got it.
Smooth drag and drop editing, what you see is what you get formatting, as well as hybrid code options like editing HTML of individual modules or dragging in custom code modules. Build out your campaign writing subject lines or setting up A/B tests using your chosen workflow. No rigid step-by-step wizards, frustrating page reloads, or lost work as you shift between tasks. After you hit send, quickly compare campaigns to spot high or low performers without getting lost in a data overload. Dig into individual campaigns to assess key data like delivery open and click rates.
Oh, right. So I think I've got enough here. I just needed to see how that that you can actually do something there. So let's just go ahead and play around with this thing. We have already here a unsubscribe button, so you can click that and it could do something else, but we're not ready for that just yet. So the subject is actually I'm not gonna worry about this just yet because the subject's gonna be thank you. Let's see, how do we get our other thing? Thank you for subscribing. And was that spam? Oh well. We know what we're trying to do now. Thank you for subscribing. It's pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty basic thing that we're saying, I just wanted to try to standardize it. I'm pretty big on trying to standardize things, if I'm being honest. I just like consistency. So what's this about module? But this thing we'll just call this proto. type because this may not be the finished version. And the subject's going to be let's say William Ennals.com. William Ennals. Now let's just say thank you for subscribing. That's all we need. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you should be one word, right? Yeah, I'm very weird. Thank you all. Thank you all. All right, so that's what it's gonna say right now. Anyway, so let's please confirm your subscription. Oh, look at that. Angular University. So look at that. They kept it nice and simple. And I think what they did was they bound your data to this button. So let's inspect this button. I don't think we'll get anything from it, but won't stop me from trying. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. That looks like they encrypted it or something. I didn't mean to go that far back. So back to SendGrid, we'll just say please confirm your subscription. Say please confirm your subscription. I don't think we need a pre-header, so we'll say, and I can't spell prototype. All right. First thing I'm trying to figure out how to do is this build. So I want to pull in an image, and this image is actually going to be the logo that we're going to use. I'm trying to think if I have a logo that's transparent. I don't know where to find out. Let's see. Let's just use this one for right now. I think this is actually the. I think I have a white on black. If I look deep enough, I can find it. I think this is it. Drag your images here to upload. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. Let's delete that actually, because that is not gonna work. I'm trying to find one that's black. See, it looks like it's in here somewhere. And don't ask me about this folder structure. I did not create this. This looks like the one I'm looking for. Or is this gonna have to do? No, this one's white too. So I need to find my assets. So I'm actually just gonna open up Adobe XD, and for some reason it has to update, so that's gonna take forever. But actually I should have access to my library somewhere in here. So let me see if I can get access to that. It's taking a while. Let me dig through my files a little bit more because I know they're here. I'm gonna go in Documents. Try it this way. Actually, I think is my watermark black or is it white? I believe my watermark's black. At least it should be. So if I can use that, then that's all I need. Yep, there we go. It's a little cut off right now. I really couldn't find a way to have that come into play without the size being screwed up. So I actually just want to change the size a bit. What if I just change the width, and I'll just say I want you to be 50%, and now we're good there. And then the only thing we're gonna do is I want to add a background, but I don't know how to do that. We already have the unsubscribe button there. Button. Yeah, I don't want this. If I'm going to have an unsubscribe, it's going to be a button. So let's just delete this. There we go. And actually, I'm going to delete this too because I know I have a different version of it. I'll just have to wait until I can get my Adobe stuff because it's just easier. And it's almost done updating, so I can wait. Let's just stick with our text for now. So our text is going to say hi, and I guess in this case I don't really know what the name is going to be like. So let's just do hi, and then hopefully this works. We'll say name. We'll say thank you. You recently let's see what our message says. It just says please confirm your subscription. Let's just do that. So I'll put something in there. It's going to say williamennals.com, and it's just going to say please confirm your subscription. So let's try that. And what you'll see now is me grabbing my asset that I need for this logo. And I'm just going to move it to the side for just a second. Because I don't need columns. So let's see if I do this. The email body. There we go. Oh, content container. That's what we needed right there. Email body, content container. We're going to change the color. Either there's going to be a pop-up or there we go. There's supposed to be a pop-up. But I think I can just do A6, A6, A6. And that should be a decent gray color. Yep, there it is. Container width 600 pixels. I think that's fine. We don't need it to be huge. 600 pixels is about that size. Close that. And we don't need any padding on that. Email body, we got that. Link colors blue. Okay, so everything looks fine. Well, we don't know that yet. So we put in our. Let me grab the asset that we need. So I'm gonna go into my library. You can't see this. So I'm actually in the wrong project. Any year now. There we go. So what I have over in Adobe is I have access to I can export any asset that I use. And the asset is just any kind of like graphic material that I create. I can export it. So as you see here on this white background, I have a nice fully fledged icon here. And this is what I want to export. So now if I go over to too far, I think I need to click on one of these buttons here, assets. And if I go low enough, I should find it in here. So let me click, what is this? Here. There we go. So I can go, this far and grab that whole thing, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and I want to, I really want to copy this thing. I want the file location for this. So I'll just grab it from the cloud. So Adobe has a nice thing called Cloud Documents, and there's a way to get to it that I'm gonna go to the web there, I think, and just give it a second. It'll pop up probably one of my internet browsers, and when I get there, I should be able to grab what I need. It'll work. There we go. My library, and this is all my stuff. So what I want is this, and I want to export a copy. Yeah, put that in my pictures. I'll put it over here, and I'm just gonna save it here. Really, I don't think I need to go that deep. So now it's exported. So now back over in SendGrid, let's see if we can get that image in there. So drag that. Forgot. We don't want this one. We want to delete that. And then we're gonna put the real one in here. That's in pictures and go to my name. We want all files. Wait. Oh, is that the one we went to? Ah, shit. What was that thing called? If I hit the export a copy, I believe that click pictures. And then I went here and I just put it right here. So it should be right next to that graphics folder. For some reason I don't see it. Let me see if I can open this thing. Oh, that's the problem. Okay. So it exported the file, not the image. So let's try that one more time. Let's see what happens if I hit edit. And edit is actually going to open up another Adobe application. It's going to open up Illustrator, and I'll have to export it straight from Illustrator as a PNG. So pretty tedious just to get the image, but you know, what are we to do? But again, I mean, this is a really tough thing because I really can't think about how to get this going. I'm trying to use the backgrounds and things like that to try to do this, but it doesn't seem simple. There's a whole designer work in this thing. So they have their head there. If I just start dropping in divs, we saw that it didn't work before either. So I don't know. So now let's go ahead and try to open that AI document that we were looking at before. And it should open up in here in a second because we already have the application loaded up. And you can see before I try to dabble in some design work. And this is what we are exporting here. And then we're just going to click File, we're going to click Export, and we're going to export as, and now we have it as a PNG. And then I'm just going to do W_logo, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to export that. I'm going to keep that all the way up, and keep the transparent background, so that way we don't have this white showing. So by the time that finishes, I should be able to have access to it. And there we go. So now we have our image. That's what we want to use. We're going to insert that, and that is now our background. And then the next thing we need to do is add our text. So let's go and add our text. So we're going to grab the text, we're going to drag it out, if I can find it. Oh, there we go. And then we're going to say, please, I like the way they wrote it out because you know exactly what you're doing. So I'm just going to say, William Ennals blog, please confirm your subscription. Yep. Please confirm your subscription. And I'm not going to spend the whole time doing this. I just want to show at least I wanted to spend the time doing at least one of these, so that when the time comes, you'll know how to at least continue from here, because I don't want this to take up too much time. Um, Something to make this pop. We'll have to do a few things on the text, um, like making it centered, and so I'm going to edit this HTML here so I can get access to this. And I want to modify the text align property, or should be, I think it's align text. No, let's do text align, see what happens. Text align, and that should be centered. And I can't remember if I need colon or comma. So I'm going to start with colon. I'm going to update and see what happens. Yep. So if we preview again, this is how our font looks. And I don't like that font style. We have this huge image, and actually make this a little smaller, because when we preview it looks huge. So the thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to back to our image, and we're going to make this smaller. So I'm just going to reduce it by 50%. And now it looks a whole lot smaller and appropriate. So if I save and then we preview it again, there we go. Now we have something working. And right now our background color is gray, and you see that how that switches for a mobile. So now it's dynamic, and we didn't have to change a thing. Another thing, I don't want to test it just yet. I want to keep building. Another thing we want to do is we want to have that button that they're going to need to send off this stuff. So we're going to say the button text is going to be please is it yes, subscribe me. So let's say I'm just gonna use confirm subscription. Confirm my subscription. And the button URL is actually gonna be I'm just gonna put URL. I wanna pass this in somehow. I don't know how I'm gonna do this just yet, but I'm gonna do it. Let's see, send grid provide URL to template. We have the API key. Design your template. Design your template for more you have to use handlebars. Handlebars is a JavaScript. It's something you can use with npm. You can always install that as well, and that's for dynamically creating I'm sorry. That's for dynamically creating the template. Substitution, is that what we want? Yes. There we go. So we want substitution. That's how we do it. So I was correct in doing it the way that I did. So it's just gonna be a URL, and that URL is gonna subscribe them. I think that's all we need, right? Oh, let's add this message here that they have here. If you receive this email by mistake, we're gonna do that. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna say another text box here, and let's just go ahead and put our text in there. We'll make it a little bit smaller, and let's paste this plain text. Font size I think should be fine. And we're gonna do the same thing we did last time. We're gonna actually go and I want to preview the HTML. So let's see if I can go back to build and go down in advanced, go to HTML, edit this. That's just the header. I want to edit. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. Wait, how did I do this last time? I'm losing it. And I thought this would be the container. So let me try this again. Let me see if I flip the colors to say I want to make this one gray. I'm just gonna pull down some. Yep, that's what I wanted. So this is the one that's gonna be A6, A6, A6. And actually A6 is a little too dark. Because you look at this is practically, it's still a shade of white. And we just want to get this piece here. And we can grab the color right here. So it's 249, 249, which should, that's like, it's practically white. So luckily, that's RGB code. Well, not code, but that's the RGB format. So we can just keep sliding this thing up until we're satisfied. I think this is good there. And we'll keep our background over here white. So that's nice and clean. Next thing we're going to do, we need to center this font, and we need to actually make it a little smaller. I might make it gray because and when I say gray, I don't mean like really light gray like how we have here. Just like a little. It's gonna be practically black, but it's gonna be gray. And you'll see that in a second. So let's go back to editing that HTML. Let's see if I can figure out how to get there. Oh, I think we can just go here and click the code for it, and that's how we can do it. So I think you do have to like throw the module in there and then figure out a way to get it. But and we're just gonna do the same that we did last time. We're gonna do text align, and it's gonna be centered. Center. Update, and there it is. And then we're just gonna change the font size to be 12 pixels, I believe. And we can always see how that looks. Let's make it updated. So now let's try it again. Okay, so we go here. We made it 12. Didn't like it, so now we're gonna change the text color to be, like I said, it's still black, but it's technically gray. And why is the font size still so big? So let's continue working on it until we can get it to where we want. Okay, I'm just gonna do something. I'm gonna get 2 pixels, and the reason why I made it 2 pixels is because I think something is not uploading, and I was right. And there's something going on here. So let me click this to try to move it, and let me just grab all of this in here. But either there's some, there was a duplicate thing on that. So we'll just put that back in there, and we'll have to just fix it again. Control V, and simple thing is just grab this, copy it, center it. It's kind of interesting. I was reading that in that little video we were watching, people actually pay to have people do these things for them. So that's a interesting thing to know. If you need some quick cash, you can just write copy for people, design their emails. I mean, that's crazy. Okay, so something's not working here. I'm just gonna go over here and paste it over here because I know it'll work. And I think I have to put this. I think it was here last time. And then we'll do text align center, and then we can click update, and there we go. And then again, we're gonna fix the font. Oh, this is the line height. No wonder why it wasn't changing. Font size. I want this to be 12. Font type. I want it to be the same, and I don't actually like the font type on the first one. Actually, I do. So I'll take that back. I just need to make this font here smaller. So we try 12. Let's go to 8. We're gonna save it, and then we'll preview it. So for some reason, it seems like it doesn't even want to change the font size. So I guess that's fine for now anyway. Keeping it normal. We are sticking with, I guess, Arial. Nah. What font do we use here? We'll keep fonts consistent. Oh, you're using Arial. Okay, so that's cool. And I thought I changed the font size. Oh, I just changed the line height. So let me just see what happens if I change this to 24. So it is not keeping up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in the code and oh, that is interesting. So here it's 14. So this is where I'm going to change it. I'm going to make this 24. And we're going to update that. So now when we preview, it should be bigger. What the frick? It made the button bigger. Oh, yeah. I don't want that button to do that. And I actually want to do a media query on this to make it smaller. It's interesting how they did the button there, but that's fine. So the only thing I'm just gonna leave it the way it is right now because this looks nice. I'm just gonna lighten the font a little bit on this text and call that a day. How do I get there? I want to change this color, and we're gonna make. Oh wait, no. Undo. Let's clear it out. Just set it back to auto. Wait, there we go. So they got some padding here. Line height. I wonder what happens if I make the line height smaller. Oh, that's what happens. So let's keep that how it is, I guess. They're not really giving me much choice here. Really not giving me much choice. And the only oh, there we go, text color. Let's lighten that up a bit. I don't know why it doesn't adhere to what I'm telling it. Am I missing a save button over here or something like that? Yeah, it must be another save button that I need to use. Because the color is definitely back to where it was. So then, how do I save? Let me see what the heck? Oh wait, this detected. So what's wrong with my code? Is this the one that has the problem? I don't remember this BR being there, so let me see what happens if I just take that out. Convert to a code module. You have made structural HTML changes that this module doesn't support. Let's not do that. Reset it. There we go. And I guess this is all that we can do right now. So now we're going to go preview and we're going to test it with data. And test data allows you to populate the variables in your template. So what we'll do is we'll do two things. We wanted to do name, but in this, so I guess we'll hold off on that. The only thing we need is the URL, and the test data allows you it must be formatted in JSON. So we do URL, and this will be local host 3000 slash subscriber, I guess. In this case, it should be I/ID. Because the way we have it is maybe we want to send the ID so that it's for the link, and that way when we send the link, that'll give us the thing that we need. So if we go here, because now we're going to need that ID, we're going to need to create the user so we can get the user ID. And then what if we did subscriber.id, and I think it's going to be ._ID, and we send that off, right? So let me just change this. Actually, I can't change this endpoint. It's fine. Let's just put something in there, and we'll do that, right? Because this should at least make our get request. And we forgot the object, because JSON needs to be an object. So now that is happy. But we won't see anything with that, because it's like if you click this link, you won't know. So this is what our HTML is gonna be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and save it. I don't know what the problem is with the handlebars code. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to export the HTML, and I'm thinking about, so if I export the HTML, I can just drag and drop that into our code that we have, and then we'll get something pretty interesting. I don't see. Oh, there we go. So I'm gonna export it in downloads. Everything. Reason being is now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this, and I'm actually gonna open this in Visual Studio Code, and then we can have access to it, and we can try to make some. We can try to just embed that directly into our stuff. And you see here when we click that, we get directed to where we're trying to go, and that's great. Because I don't know how to send another request, because it's like you confirm subscription, right? So we say automated email confirm subscription. So how can we confirm our subscription, right? And then let's do SendGrid subscription confirmation. That's different. Oh, that's interesting. So they already have some templates for us, for people to pick up. I still have the question is verification email. There we go. Set up a triggered confirmation email to verify new subscribers' account information after they sign up for your emails. It's an easy way to double check their contact data and confirm that they do in fact want to get a mail from you. All recipients have to do is click the single call to action button to verify their account, and they will be added to your contact list. The additional content blocks below the main CTA are an ideal place to share information about what recipients should receive from your emails. When you provide details about the content and frequency up to up front, you can eliminate surprises and start your relationship off on the right foot. Verification email template tricks, tips and tricks. Um, what I'm trying to think is how we're gonna embed that link in there. So we're gonna say how to button link for, let's say, confirmation link for subscription emails. Right, because we don't know what is happening here. Subscription email subscribers and confirm. How do you create a confirmation link for email? Oh wait, look at that. For subscription. For subscription email. And let's just type in Node.js. Oh, look at that. Somebody's got a confirmation email in there. So.
Hey guys, I'm sure you've seen
Alright, so I'm gonna let you guys
lots of
hear what I'm
websites. When you register for an application, they send you an email, and you have the same strategy, and they're confirm. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on. So we can't log in yet because we haven't confirmed our email. So we'll come over here, and we see we got an email here from Middlewatt Apps, and it says please click this email to confirm. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this link, and so cool. We successfully confirmed our account and are able to log in. Now, the link I did is I made a confirmed attribute in the user table or property. So now I know whether the user has confirmed their account or not. And by default, that is false. And then whenever I am logging in the user, I'll just check user.confirmed. And if they are not confirmed, I'll say please confirm your email to log in. So that's kind of what I'm doing to check and make sure that the user is logged in. Now to send the email, I told you I was using Node Mailer, and that's what this register function is doing right here. So it's first creating a user, right? Then it's using Node Mailer, and we created a transport. I'll show you that in a second. We're creating a transport, and we're also passing an email secret, because if you look at this closely over here, this is actually a JWT token I'm passing back. So you can use it for multiple things, and one of them is email confirmations. It's really nice. So we're signing that token with an email secret and the transporter to actually send the email. Now there's two different types of emails that I'm going to show you guys, of ways you can send the email. I prefer the async email because it's faster. So you saw me creating the token for.
So, from my understanding is I have to find so they're using Node Mailer and I'm using SendGrid. So let's look at the difference. And let's do SendGrid. I think it's called a transponder. Is that what he called it? So now we're getting, a little deep. Transporter. So let's do SendGrid transporter and just see what comes up. Sending email with, oh, look at that. So they have Node Mailer in here. That's interesting. So there's more to this than we thought. Sending email with Node Mailer and SendGrid. The recent release of Node Mailer was packed full of awesome. Not only was it completely rewritten from the ground up, but it brings support for modularized transport system, giving developers a standard way to send email regardless of the service used to send it. This is huge because it allows developers to switch all of their mail sending functionality over to a new email transport by only changing a few lines of code. You've always been able to use Node Mailer with Essence, blah blah blah. You still can, but we advocate using our for reduced latency and better encoding support. Thanks to our new modular transporter system and the Node Mailer SendGrid transport module, you can do this easily. So this will be the email, and this is some kind of transponder. I don't really care about that. What we want to continue use. So what I want to do is I want to figure out in SendGrid how we can do the confirmation link. SendGrid confirmation email link. How to send brand on confirmation emails. So it seems like there's maybe something in the documentation that we have to do. The confirmation email is one of the most important messages. Okay, whether you're confirming a purchase, if you don't sign up, don't let it hurt your feelings. But okay, so how can we confirm this thing? So that's really all I'm looking for. Is I want to figure out a way to have them confirm it. So it seems like what can happen is if we create a link that all it does is confirm everything, and if you go to that endpoint, it'll confirm everything for that user. That way it'll, yeah, actually that sounds like it makes more sense. So you just give it a link there, and instead of it being something like this, it shouldn't take any requests, and once you go to that location, it should confirm everything. Um, that's actually what I'm looking for there, because how do you create that link? How to create link for confirmation email SendGrid. Um, so let's see if we have I'm gonna use SendGrid confirmation email and see what we can do. There we go. So
In this lesson, we are going to send confirmation emails to our registered users. Node.js provides a node mailer module to do this. Talked about this top secret, you can try it out for yourself. So first of all, let's install these two packages. So node mailer and node mailer SendGrid. I'll be here and install. Now, once this .env is installed, we have to require it at the top. So require .env function.
so that's what I'm looking for.
Adding this feed to our type, because the service class called email service, the env SendGrid API key. That means we have to add this key equals. It accepts the user it easy channel.com, and the receiver's name, we don't. So here we have to create a URL. So
Okay, so this is where they're creating the URL.
So the const URL, of course, to generate the URL, we have to create the token.
Okay, so they're creating a token.
Basically the same thing. Okay, so we are going to create a token with the registered user ID, and
so they're creating a token for the user
URL.
URL.
So let's do localhost.
And somehow they're gonna use this URL with a JSON token
I think
to
our Nux server is on
somehow
40,000.
confirm everything. So I'm just taking a look to see how this looks.
And then the token.
Huh. Okay.
Okay. So our URL is ready.
So they must have already set their code to.
Note that we have to create a unique token for each user, so that we can, when the user clicks on the confirmation email, we can figure out that we send this email to this user. Okay, so the URL is ready, and of course we can use then, if it's successful, I'm going to say Okay.
So
Okay, I think we are
is that
finally we
it?
have to export it. So exports dot here we import it and we
So
send it. I think we are good to go.
so I don't see where they
All
have their
right.
code set up to
So
do
I'm going
anything
to
with the
use 10
confirmation
minute
link.
mailer. 10-minute email. I'll copy this. Run start. Oops, there is a error. This has to be async.
There you go.
Okay, let's replace the email. This. And let's email. Okay. Didn't get the back the ID, but that's fine.
So they're sending
Oh,
some kind of email.
send web to.
Oh,
Now we have to delete this. Okay.
so
This and
how do
web
they?
token. Delete this user because we cannot.
So let me see how they're doing this. Do you create endpoint for confirmation email Node.js? How do you confirm? There we go. I'm trying to build confirmation emails for users to verify that it's real. What package would I use to confirm the email address or the user? So this is the same problem I'm having. So that's their schema and their model. Account verification or email verification. There are plenty. Actually, this isn't what I'm looking for. When your user submits, new user who's active will be false. Create a long random string. So this is our JSON web token. Send an email to the supplied email address with the pointing back to a root on the server. When the user clicks the link and hits the root, check for the hash. If the hash exists in the database, get the relate. Okay. So that's how we do it. So we got to figure out how to flip that switch. I thought in that video that we watched, we would have found what they did for
Hey guys, I'm
their
sure you've seen
endpoint
lots of that sort of thing.
to get this thing
So today
going.
I'm this email
So
for logging the receipt. Come over, so you can log in acting in the or
so
logging in the user. I'll just
so this is something that they're doing here. Actually, this is in their authentication. What I'm looking for is how can I send off this confirmation thing without creating the router, because it seems like, let me see, I'm gonna say express router for confirmation email. I think I just hit the same thing twice. There we go. So I think I have to create the endpoint for it. I just don't know where. And blah blah blah. Oh, here we go. There it is. API email verification. So this is their get. This is the, okay, so I guess if I just hit that endpoint, we're good to go. Confirm token middleware. Let confirm token blah blah blah. So I don't even need to create middleware for that. I'm just gonna get it because it's gonna get the token from the URL. So what we're gonna say is it's right back to back. So the thing we can do is we're gonna go over here and we're gonna create another router. And I guess this is going to be a get, I want to say. Well, yeah, that's the part we're trying to get to. So let's look a little bit more into this. Let's look up this. Blah blah blah. User data reset token. So they're using something called Nev. I want to say express confirmation router. Express confirmation email router. Here we go. Router.get email. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for con. I'm gonna type confirmation. This should be in the router somewhere. Con for confirmation. Send in. Email verification. Oh, let's check this. So app.get, and this is the send thing. So this is the email that they're sending off here. They're doing all this that way. And this is, I guess this is the verify link here. So let's go ahead and try that. So I'm just gonna create another router, and I'm just gonna call this confirmation. So it'll be router.get, and those would be /subscribers /slash confirmation, and it'll be, I wonder if this will work, because I'm trying to look at the router. I know usually when we did the ID, we just did .id, but we did :id. When user click on send button, we're calling node server using complete URL, and in send router that was sending the email. No. Let's just do /confirmation JSON token express router. JSON web tokens and express. Authenticate modern. How to verify JSON pairs. Sending JSON web token to the client with page to redirect. So we already know this part. User orders. Get all that. .env.config. Not worry about that. Generate the token. Create new user. Generate the token there. It's not what I'm looking for. Let's say express confirmation route email. Creating account, email verification, not working. So I just care about the route. I don't necessarily worry about the type of database. So they did use this is verified thing. So now this is something else. This is something they're using for their specific database. this is tokens they're putting in there, and they send confirmation email, so the token goes up in there. And what they're doing is they're doing it like this: click this link to verify your email, and this is how they're doing it. They're grabbing the host URL from process.env.host URL slash verification, and then they did the question mark, token equals all of that. So that's fine. And then they're returning this, and this seems like the SendGrid actually. New promise, resolve, reject, and this is the SendGrid API, and they're taking the request and using the request object, and they're passing that in, and they're checking to see if they can resolve it. So what I need to look for is this thing here. So this is their SendGrid email helper. So all of this stuff that they did here is where they're trying to set stuff. So they call this here, and they get that token, and then they just send that off. So I'm trying to think. No, this is the verification controller they're creating. The route, that's what I'm looking for here. So it's a post route, and it's a slash verification, and then they call their controller to handle the rest. So that's what we have to do. So took a second, but this is how they're doing it. So they're taking that post, and it's going to be slash verification, and they're going to grab all of that stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to call this slash confirmation, and I'll let it be subscriber slash confirmation, and I'll leave it at that. Actually, yeah, I'll leave it at that because I like the way that looks. I want to know. I want everything to kind of be consistent, where it's like you're in the loop, because we're confirming a very specific subscriber, and we're just gonna do response, request, and we're gonna get to work on this. The one thing that I didn't do is on our subscriber, I guess. So on our subscriber object, we have to, not the object, but the model, we have to go in and add that confirmed. So I'm going to call it confirmed because that's what makes sense to me. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it verified if you want. That's your choice. And then it's just going to be a type boolean. And then what'll happen is, if the email address doesn't get confirmed, I don't want to add it to the database. Yeah. Weird thing is, if they send the request, I don't know how to make it wait, you know what I mean, for the user to confirm and then get it back, because I don't want it to be the point where people are trying to send stuff and they now have all these subscribers in my database that don't exist. So that's what I have to figure out here. So that's what's going on here. Otherwise, it's verification token, trying to find this person, and then so with our so they're updating it there. So the weird thing is, it seems like we have to create a token for them as well. Well, I guess that makes sense. I just don't like the way this is written because it's using something different than what I'm using. They're using passport. I don't want that. I want the email verification. So I did get a step closer. Oh, look at that. A user registers for account, the user is created, but their user still needs to be verified via an email confirmation. The user cannot log in until then. So there we go. And then I forgot to do my default. So default is going to be false. And what'll happen is we don't even need that. So create token verification. So what we'll do is, to make it easier, we'll put in some middleware on this. And I'm trying to think which one it goes on. Would it go on before we save? I'm almost thinking yeah, but because when you look in here, I don't see any token on that user. Name, email, roles is verified, password reset token, and that's it. When a user signs up, we're going to create a validation token with Mongo. So then it seems like they're adding that on. So const token schema. So they're creating a separate token for that. I'll just add the token on there for them. And I'll just say token. Just like how it is in the user object. And this is gonna be type string. Type string. And I guess it will be required. Well, once you have default, it's already taken care of. And I'll do required is true. So that way we'll make sure it gets in there. So what'll happen is, yeah, it seems like this is the way to go. We have to we'll just have a callback for it, and it won't send any additional response. So let me save this. Oh, typo. So and then we'll go to our I'm not gonna do that just yet, but we need to go to this thing here, and instead of having that, we're going to have some kind of URL that's going to say confirm. Let's see. I just like to call them confirmation post. I'll just call it confirm subscription. That's pretty much literally what we're doing. Confirm subscription, and it's going to be a method, well, function, and it is not a callback object. So get rid of all of that, and I believe that's how it should look. Yeah, confirmation post. So then we go here, and this is their thing. Oh wait, that's weird. Oh, this looks like some test case. But I think we're close enough. This is my callback function here. I can always put it directly in here, which honestly, with the way this is, I don't see why not. Oh, I see, because it's do request response. I'm actually winging this, so you know the drill. Nothing I say is true until it works. So with this thing, we are going to be sending the ID. And the way we'll do that is we'll say token actually is gonna be the request const token equals request dot query dot, no, I think that's it, request dot query Node.js, oh no, actually it's express confirmation token. There we go. Creating hash token from user email for email verification. I've done the email verification express. So when they save, oh, why did they make that so stretched out? So this is their thing here. Oh, you can do it like that. I thought so. I kind of like that slash token. So that way the token is up in the body there. And then so we'll know that, let's see, var token, yep, data, we get that. So we'll say const token equals request dot params dot token. So it's able to, since we did this here, we know this, we're telling it it's a parameter, and that's going to be the token that we're using. And then we're going to say const subscriber, right? Because we have to identify the subscriber. It's going to equal the actually, first thing we have to do is we're going to say the ID is going to equal to subscriber. Actually, it's, no, it's going to be one thing I'm going to do really quick is to move. It's going to open my environment variable so I can set my JSON web token. DWT. Yeah, I think that's and it's secret. JWT underscore secret underscore key. And the only thing I'm doing here is just creating my secret key that you guys have saw me use previously for our other token needs on the user model. And I think we used that on, yeah, we used that on our user model because we wanted to when we signed our JSON tokens. So now I'm just moving those into environment variables as well. Dot, I call it JWT underscore secret underscore key. Believe that's what I called it. Yeah. And I'm gonna have to create another one. So alright. So that's our secret key. Let me save that. And I think there's one other thing. thought I needed to have some kind of hash for our password. Oh, there it is. Oh, but I don't have to give that a key. Okay, cool. So, I only need one thing in there for the secret key for my. Okay, cool. So, save the user now. It's probably still gonna have some kind of error. Nope. I can close my dev.env now. And then we can save this for now because we're gonna put something different in there. What else do I need? Back over in the router here, now we have to get access to the JSON, and I really don't want to put this anywhere else because this is all right here, and I don't think I'm using this anywhere else. Could be wrong. Yeah, I'm not gonna do this anywhere else because I don't need it for my user router because I'm gonna put myself in the database and that's all that needs to be there. So I'm not gonna waste time. So that's how we're gonna get our token, and then we need to turn that into an ID. So we're going to go ahead and pull in our JWT our JSON Web Token library, and that's just going to be equals require, and we're going to go ahead and pull that in. So we're going to say require JSON Web Token. All right, we got that. Now we're going to say that is going to equal to JWT dot verify, and we're going to get actually I don't need to verify it. I need to break it down. So for instance, we're not verifying to sign in. We are, what's the word I'm looking for? We're doing, how did I do this? Oh, on the login router. So let me go to user login. Wait a sec. Oh, auth. There we go. I knew it was one of these things. So you can see this thing starting to get a little bit bigger. So, oh, so it is to verify. So this is the decode. We verify it. And let me use the same thing I have on the other side. It's going to be process.env dot jwt underscore secret underscore key. And now we have that. So jwt.verify, and I believe I pass in the token that I want to compare it to, right? And then I believe we're looking for the nope, that's it. So I'm just gonna grab this here, and then I'm gonna use the same syntax so everything makes sense, because it gives us an object. So I probably could just say object ID, decode, but you know, consistent writing. Equals this, right? And now that we have our token, we decoded it, and now we need to say const subscriber equals subscriber dot find by ID, and we're going to do underscore, I think it's object is find one. Yeah, that's why we're not using ID. I'm going to say find one, and then we're going to say underscore ID is going to be decode.id, and I think we can do a comma, and we need to say the token matches our token, and because they're by the same name, we can just do the shorthand. And then we're going to do a wait on that. And the first thing we're going to say, if not subscriber. So if there's no subscriber here, we are going to send a 400 response. So we'll do response dot status, and it'll be a 404 actually, dot send, because that user won't exist. And then otherwise we're gonna and I need to return this actually. I can just throw an error. Nah, I want to return. Believe I can just I have a return in there. I can really do whatever I want, I guess. I'm the one writing it, right? But yeah, you just return it. Oh no, that's different. Guess we'll find out, right? So we've got that. We're gonna return because we're not gonna throw any error. This is just the response that we're gonna send. So we don't want to do anything else. And otherwise, we are going to actually we're gonna await subscriber. Well, actually, we're gonna do one. We gotta do two things. We gotta update our subscriber. So we gotta say subscriber dot confirmed, right? Confirmed equals true. So now they're confirmed. Yeah, but I was thinking about why I needed that property on there. That was really it. Because it's already they're created. So I'm thinking I don't want the user. So I guess I can put some kind of expiration, some kind of chrono task to say if they don't verify themselves in a certain amount of time, then I'll get rid of it. So I'm sure there's a way I can do that to keep my database clean. And I think that's what's happening here. So it's saying token, they're creating their token, they're logging that out, and then they're going to their email, and then they're transporting this thing, and it's working straight through. When the user clicks on this link, they get a token from URL decoded, check for expiration date, and that's it, right? So I think I got that correct. And otherwise we're gonna do response dot send, and I should have did all this in a try block. So it should be try. Just gonna send, right? And if it doesn't work, we now have to catch our error, and we're going to say response dot status, and this is going to be a 400 because they made it back. This is probably somebody trying to manipulate our code, or somebody's using an expired token. Maybe they already verified twice. So that might be something else you want to do. So I guess I can say if subscriber dot confirmed, then we're gonna return a how do you say so say HTTP response code for already verified. .409. There we go. Return response dot status That'll be a 409 there, and then we'll do send that off. So we'll send them a 409 to say it's a conflict, really. So that's what we're doing. Otherwise, we're gonna set this property on them, and then we're just gonna send the 200 response, and we're done. Now, however, probably a few things going on here. I didn't do a sync. Let's so now I want to test this, and the way we'll do it is we're gonna grab this. So there we go, that email. Two things really. I need to get that HTML code that we just downloaded. So I want to go here, and I wonder if I have Atom. I think I have Atom on here, but actually I can just open it with VS Code. So I can actually just grab all of this. And you see, this is why I didn't want to write it manually, because it would have took forever. So I can actually just grab all of that. And actually, I think I can just grab this part, because this is all the HTML that I want. Now that I think about it, I think I just need, actually it's hard to say where it starts and where it ends, because, oh, this is the head here. So I think I can just grab this head, and the rest is whatever, because I don't need that stuff. So wherever the head ends is where I'll end, because I thought they were nested in the head. If not, then I have a different kind of problem. I'll just take the whole template. It's fine. I don't need a document type, because this is more so when you're rendering. But this is already expecting HTML, so I don't think actually I don't even think, I'm just copy the body. That should do it. Because the head is actually all this stuff up here. Let me see what's in here. Make sure it's not my image. Body. So this is black. This is not. Doing a wrapper. And I guess this is how they're managing the screen size. Yeah, they have a media query in here to adjust how everything's going to respond to different screen sizes. So it seems like I do need everything. So I'm just going to grab everything, and I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to I really want to say have some kind of nest in here to say to have the HTML in here. So I'll just put I'll store it above it, and I'll say const confirmation HTML, and try to do that. So it'll be a constant. This it'll be I'll say confirmation template. That's what it'll be. Confirmation underscore template, because they don't show you any other way to work this stuff in SendGrid. I would need to use handlebars to provide a simple pattern way to include dynamic content directly within email templates. Meaning changes are done quickly in template with no update to code required. This page uses examples. I don't have any of that dynamic stuff in here. It's pretty static, now that I think about it. So we'll try what we have first, and then we'll go with that. And I don't think I need to send text anymore. I think I can just send the HTML. And we'll do that. Or maybe not. So yeah, I definitely need to do something about this. And I'm gonna put these in there, tag there, and it didn't seem to like it. Yeah, there's a lot going on here, so I know there's got to be another way for me to do this. So let me go back to SendGrid and go back to this document we have here, and I want to see how we can use this. I wonder if I saved this thing. Hopefully we did. All right, yeah. So we have our template now. So how can we use this? So let's go. How to use SendGrid template. Copy over the inline version of HTML template you want to use. Replace the unsubscribe URL with the update your placeholder content with SendGrid. Okay, send a test to yourself. Call this template's ID. Oh, that's how we do it there. Update the placeholder content with, so that you can use this template. SendGrid needs to know where you want to place the variables and content that you send with your API call. First, replace the unsubscribe link with these. So let's go ahead and do this. Build. I guess I drop this in. Try to drop it on the bottom. I really want this to go on the bottom. Dude, go on the bottom. How hard is that? Alright, I'll just pull you up. Too far up. There you go. And I need to edit this. Dude, what the heck? First, replace the unsubscribe link with that. Oh, wait, so copy over the inline version of template you want to use. Copy the unsubscribe URL with the SendGrid tag. Update the placeholder content with the save. Okay. So let's just play around with this. What I think I might be able to do is, while I'm testing this thing, I can have it hit that endpoint that we sent. I'm gonna send that test message, but the thing is, I need that. I'm gonna need that key. So let me just go ahead and drop that collection. Since we did model, I'll see what happens. I don't think there's anything in here right now. Delete that document and go back to the code. Have the text there, but I want to use that template that they were using, that we created here. I mean, we spent the time on it, might as well use it, right? that is cool. Update the placeholder content with Sendgrid subtags so that you can use this template. Sendgrid needs to know where you want to place the variables and content that you send with your API call. So where this, I don't see the don't like these emails thing. So I'm just gonna try to drop it in at the bottom where they have it. So I'll just go to the bottom, and first thing I'll do is try to get out of this testing thing first. Go over to build and go over down to advanced. Go back to edit that. Maybe not that. Preview plain text. No, that didn't work. That didn't work either. Maybe there's a way I can get the. That's fine. Yeah. Let's see if we can change the editor. Not today. Alright, so I'm just gonna place text in there. I don't get what this thing is trying to tell me to do. And why is it only allowing me to put stuff below other things? Like, I don't know where I want stuff to go. I'll just drop it in below this. And the code here. There we go. I mean, whoever gave me this didn't really make it easy for us to read. Oh, they said place the unsubscribe link. Is that what they were doing over here? Oh, I see. So when we're doing these things, we have to use that those templates there. So here in the subject, it should be percent subject percent. And I'm actually just gonna remove that stuff I just put in here because I don't know what that means. It removed it anyway. So this is what they did there. Yeah, that's nothing to do with me. Then put SendGrid subtags where you want content. That's fine. I see. So, but for the button URL, there's nothing really I can do about that. As it's not visible, it's easy to forget, but you should always be replacing pre-header text with a subtag and sending pre-head text with each request. Okay. See, I don't even know what they're doing here. I know they have better documentation because that was very difficult to read. I'm going to go back to SendGrid. Oh, developers. Here we go. So I'm using the API docs. So in order to send a dynamic template, specify the template ID. And actually, another thing I wish I did before was to use the legacy stuff, because now that I think about it, we're not using a dynamic template. We're using just a regular template. You know. So what if I just go ahead and edit this? Preview and edit. And the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this And I'm going to throw all the HTML stuff that I just saw before. So I'm going to pull this out, and I'm just going to hit Control A, Control C, and see what happens over here. Oh, look at that. Perfect. And then let me see where their button is. Button. And then the URL is going to have to come from out of there. URL. There it is. I'm going to save that template. And now, how do we get this thing to post? That's the page I needed. This is settings. So Control F, templates. This REST endpoint allows you to retrieve all transactional templates. Wait, that's not what I want. I just want to use the template when I send it. Sendgrid. Use Sendgrid template email. Add an unsubscribe group. Edgar, this means they would like to add to type of email that you send via the unsubscribers. So this is what we need. So your email, we will replace that tag with the tags unsubscribe from this list. Your email with the email. Using the API, you can manage your global unsubscribes. They don't tell you where to put it at though. Dog, I'm getting pissed. I mean, alright, we open up a can of worms here. So, save that, right out of there. Let's give this a name. Let's give this a name. Thought I did that already. This will be subscription confirmation. Subjects coming from there. Yep, and cool. So add a unique template name and then click save. To begin editing your new template, edit version. Design your template, blah blah blah. Okay, send a transactional email. Send a dynamic transition email. We're not using curl. From personalizations to I see. Sending email. create, manage email testing, building email, HTML formatting, issues, legacy. There we go. The easiest way to get started with a new template is to use one of your previous emails and then modify. Is to use one of those or a free email template and then modify it to your needs. To add a template of the new template, if you paste in an email template, it's likely that you will overwrite. Preview and test your template. We did that. Managing templates. Activate your template. To activate your template, navigate to the template you wish to use, and select the action menu. Make active. Actions. Where we have? Oh, it's already active. Cool. The template can only have one active version at a time. Now how do you put it in yourself, in your code? How to send email with the template. It's literally that hard? Like, why is it so difficult for people to make their documentation easy to read? It's adding sender information, blah blah blah. Send grid, send email using legacy template. Jeez. Web API. Where's my BlueStacks? Templates. Did I click it? Include the template ID in the templates parameter. Let's see here. Request body. I don't have to use this. Wait, what? This endpoint allows you to send email over SendGrids with V3. SendGrids provides a library to help you quickly and easily integrate with V3 Web API on 7 different languages. We already saw that, but where did they add in the template? To ECC subject header substitutions, send at, reply to content, template ID. So if we do template ID, I wonder what that'll do. So if I go over here and in this thing I do template ID, that was underscore ID, template underscore ID, and then I need to put in the ID that was given. Here's and this ID is here. So I can put that in as a string. Save that. Somehow I have to find a way to pass that URL off, huh? Custom args, send at batch ID. So now I'm thinking, when I send that, how do I send off the URL that it needs? Yeah, so this is definitely what it is. Array of messages. Because I know the template ID needs something. So let me just go back to Control F, template ID. Let's see if I can get some more information on this. The ID of a template that you would like to use. If you use a template that contains content and a subject, either text or HTML, you do not need to specify those in the responsive personalizations or message level parameters. Okay. So when you use this custom, how to pass variables with Sendgrid template. Ooh, okay. How to pass dynamic data. No, I just substitute. So I guess that would be something that I would have created in the, instead of that, I think I needed to do those tags. So what do those tags do? Okay, there's only one way we're going to figure this out. So I'm just going to send off my user. I'm just going to send off this response. And now we're getting a bad request. Path token is required. Cool. So, wait, what? Oh, yeah, okay. Wait, huh? I believe this, I thought this was supposed to be a post. That's for login. This is for sign up. This helped, but not much. Control F. I know there's a variable I'm trying to send. That's the part I'm looking at. What's this personalization? Any substitution you would like to be made for your email. Custom args. Any custom arguments you would like to include in your email. I think I need this. And this is where we'll get the URL from, I think. My problem here. Oh, okay. Where are we? Subscriber here. Wait, no, here. Subscriber. Have to find one. The only problem I can think that's going on with this is that we didn't import no. We should still have to wait for that. Oh wait, it's only valid. So maybe it's not an async function. Alright, seems that way. Yeah. So let's send this off again, and I wonder if it showed up here. Okay, cool. So they didn't let that go. So let's try this one more again. Path token is required. Alright, so I'm interested because we're not hitting that endpoint yet. This is somehow throwing a problem. Let me just do a post to this and see what happens, because we're really doing a post, I think. Oh, I know. We're trying to create the user and we never created the token on this subscriber. So when we create the subscriber, we need to generate a token on that subscriber. So I'm just gonna do const token equals JSON no JWT dot sign, and then we're gonna create our token right here. How do we do this in user? Dot sign. Okay, so let's just grab this. Hmm. And well, it doesn't matter right now. Excuse me. And this is gonna be subscriber. I think that should do it. Yeah, so this is a different error we're getting now. I'm almost certain that user probably still was created. I mean, that subscriber. Okay, so it didn't create it. So now we're getting actually a different error. And it's just taking me back over here that I'm almost certain I'm missing something. Don't know what it is though. So I'm assuming that that URL tag that I needed is somehow the problem. So what if I change this to body and send that? Yeah, we're not getting any indication on what's going on now. So that can definitely be an issue. Kind of over time, so I'm just gonna keep pushing. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try a URL and then add that in there and say local host 3000 slash actually there's just a few things wrong with that, so I'm not even gonna touch that just yet. Let's just try to get this subscriber into the model. And we need the same token that we used to write it, which is working. And then we saved it here, because if we tried to save it beforehand, we'd have a problem. Oh, I see. Subscriber dot token equals that, and Seemed like that error got different. Subscriber dot token, right? How about I take this required true off? And actually I'm gonna do the I'm gonna do the same thing I did for user, really. And we're gonna do that same thing for our subscriber. And we're just gonna say subscriber. Actually, to subscriber. And there we go. Now we easily have that. Equals token. And this should be subscriber schema. And now we have that. We go back to our thing here, and then we can just say subscriber dot generate token. Same thing on the user model. I'm gonna did the same thing on the user object, and then we just need to do await. So we're gonna say const token equals subscriber dot generate token, and see what happens there. Ha, there we go. Look at that. So now I know that JWT is not defined. I think, wait, where though? It's probably over here in the subscriber model. Yeah. So let me Control Z and do Control X on that boy, and then Control V it over here. Save both of them things. Just make sure nothing went in, cause okay. Do this again. There we go. Check the output. Wait, did it happen twice? Secret or private key must have a value. Did I not put that in? Subscriber, line 33. So thing I'm thinking is that maybe my secret key isn't. Nope, it's got a value. So it's gonna Control V that. Control C. Close out of this, and then try this again. Trying to figure out what else I could have been missing. But yeah, it seems like, yeah, it's secret. That's what's happening there. It tried to do the secret key thing, and then it didn't work. So that should have been it though. CLS. Let that kick off. Oh. So now we get a 400. Okay, so something already existed. The heck? Oh, so now it's something else. We're saving this twice somehow. And I think it's when we try to save it here. Booyah. Booyah. And still a problem. So, oh, this is different. I'm okay with this one actually. So it just shows that we have a duplicate key. What the hell? This should be everything. So I'm a real big stickler on having a clear command term. npm run dev. And let's go over here, make sure nothing's here. There it is. We're going to delete it. And I didn't think about it, but let me check my email. Gmail. Still says 305, so if that stuff did come through, it's definitely in my spam folder. There we go. Oh, look at that. Okay, so the headers, the image is missing, but everything else seems to work. So now we just have to figure out how to get this button to work and how to get my header in there. So display images below. Oh, there it is. So the image is now there. We're getting our tag. So let's keep going. So we're getting it. Now we have to figure out how to get that. We got to figure out how to get that URL in there. And let's see. Sendgrid pass confirmation URL to Sendgrid. API. To template to Sendgrid template. Let's see what they have over here. So do Control F, and we're gonna say args. Nope. So they create these templates here. And now my question is, where do those args come into play? Oh, there it is there. Come on, get out the way, man. Come on, get out the way. There we go. So let's just try to grab this thing. So seems like inner support for handlebars templates has. I don't see where you pass your args in here though. Not anymore. Transactional templates now feature a powerful new test data hub. Simply write or drop a bit of JSON you'd like to in the tab, and your template will render a beautiful side preview. Insight for others and more for time to focus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my template and I want to preview it and test it. And the only way I can think about testing this thing is to, oh, okay. They don't email subject. So this is different than when we worked with the other code where it did let us do stuff. And this is handlebars doing its thing there. Where is it? Let's do preview and test. This is the only way it seems like I'm gonna be able to get stuff in there. I'm gonna send a test out, but I need to send a variable here to this URL. Otherwise, we're pretty screwed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to edit this thing, and I'm gonna look for that URL that I was working with, and here it is here. I'm going to make this that property that they're looking for, and I'm going to put two percent signs in there, and I'm just going to call this URL, and I'm going to try to send this thing. I'm going to try to put a URL in here and see what happens. This URL is going to be local host 3000 / subscribers / confirmation / and then here is where we're going to have to add that token. So what I'll do is we're going to refresh our query. It's kind of, oh wait, I know what to do. We're going to pass the token up in here. I'm going to say token, right? And then we can go ahead and pass the token through here. So we get the token, and I can just pass that token right off in here. So now we're going to pass the token, and I can just do the string, this syntax for the string. So now I can just go and say grab that token value and use that here, and try to do this again and see if that link works. So we got a 400 status, and I'm almost certain it's because of this thing here. So I'm going to do custom underscore args, and then I'm going to say URL, and then put that in there. And let's see if it delete that user, send that email. It still doesn't like it. I don't know. Oh, still spelled stuff wrong. Custom args. There we go. And delete the user. And we're just going to fire that off again. Jeez. Let me check my email, see if anything's coming through anyway. No, not this time. So I do think it is that custom args that they're on there because it was working before. So the thing is, I don't know how to test this. So let me go here and follow that thing. Actually, I'm in the GitHub for it, so let me check that out. How do I contribute? Nope. Packages, mail. Let's see what else they have in here. Subject text. Then doing all that. Let's go to this API that they talk about, and we're just gonna go back to the templates. I don't think it's a transactional template, but we'll look at it anyway. Give it the ID. I don't think that's what we're looking for. Each user can create up to 300 different transactional templates. Transactional templates are specific to accounts and sub-users. Templates created on a parent. Transactional templates are templates created specifically for transactional email, are not to be confused with marketing. API key permissions. Templates. API keys. Mail. Oh, look at this. I don't care about that. Kind of pass. Oh wait, I know. We were watching the YouTube video for this. So now let me just go into history and see if we can find those YouTube videos. To figure out how they were sending that confirmation key, because I think they have their own templates. So I just want to see what they sent. So they did a constant here. Oh wait, they didn't use Sendgrid. So we're just gonna skip most of this stuff. I really just want to check out the email body that they're used. So nothing changed here. Actually, yeah, nothing actually changed. So confirmation email using no mailer and Sendgrid. I guess this is fine.
So we cannot use the same email twice.
So
Okay, let's replace the email.
So I just want to catch that. So in their HTML, they did the $ right there with the URL. They didn't use a template. So let me say how to add URL for Sendgrid template. There we go. Substitution tags allow you to generate dynamic content for each recipient on your list. When you send a list of recipients over, you can specify substitution tags specific to each recipient. A customer specific ID can replace customer ID in the URL within your email. Oh, I see. Okay. Substitution tags allow you to generate dynamic content for each recipient on your list. When you send to a list of recipients over, okay, substitution tags will work in the subject line body of the email and in unique arguments. Substitutions are limited to 1000 bytes. Do not use spaces inside your substitution tags. Wait, when passing substitutions, please make sure to only use strings as shown in our examples. Any other type could result in unintended behavior. How you format your substitution tags may depend on the library you use to create your connection, the language you're writing code in, and blah blah blah. In some cases, subval may be the best choice, while in others, subval or may make more sense. It is best to avoid characters that have special meaning in HTML, such as these might end up encoded and would not properly be used. Substituted. Do not use spaces. Do not nest substitution tags in substitutions, as they will fail and your substitution will not take place. So this is how they're using their substitution tag. I believe they have sales contact and sales contact number, and they have the customer ID. So this is the JSON that they are sending. They're sending it to two people, and I guess these are their subs. Yeah, here it is right here. So what I need to do is I need to say, instead of just passing URL, I need to pass it like, I guess the way it's written. So it'll be percent URL percent. But that just looks weird now. Now I wonder if I have to capture it in a string. Yeah. So let me do Sendgrid substitutions. Actually, let's go all the way back here because we're using the web API. We're using web API, and let's look at substitutions. Span report sub users teammates users API. Mail. Status codes and errors now. Update forward bounds. Update template settings. Let me do this, and if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But I think since it's a special character, I should do something like that. But now, and now use single. And now I want to see if the URL goes through. So I'll have to find a way to fix this error. So say dot then no. See. I'll have to figure out how I want to handle that. It's just duplicate keys. So send, wait, it's not a duplicate key anymore. Jeez. All right. Send that thing off again. Oh, did I not run the server? So at least we know they're connected now. Send this thing again. We're still getting 400, and the reason why this time is unknown. I'm almost certain it's this. I just don't know how else I can fix this to work. Let's see if we can find anything about substitutions. Transactional templates. Go templates here. Name. Create a template. Oh, I'm not creating a template here. The ID. Templates, ID, name, versions. So these are all of the versions, I guess, that are available. How many active ones you have, all that stuff. So this is the subject there. Can't find any other information to add onto that thing though. Sendgrid template dynamic template data. Ha. Dynamic template data. This is it here. So I'm going to use the other template, I guess. How did they know which one we were using? And then how can I change the language on here? Because it's giving me information about using curl. I'm like, I don't even use curl. Let's just do Node.js. And I'm going to cut it here tonight, guys, because it seems like I have quite a bit of work to do. So